Hey guys, Cainebourne back with the Elder Scrolls Online. Today I want to talk a little bit about provisioning in the Elder Scrolls Online, why you should do it, how to go ahead and gather the supplies needed, such as the ingredients and the recipes, the skills that you should be using in order to make this whole process more efficient, and then finally how to level it in probably 30 to 40 minutes maximum. So first I'm going to hop into why. Why you would want to have provisioning for your character is because food and drink provide basically buffs that can increase your overall stat numbers or the regeneration rate for an extended amount of time. They work a heck of a lot longer than alchemy potions, which is important. They persist through death. You can extend the time that they last, and they work really well. A quick example of a food or a drink type I would like to show you guys here. I will sort by consumables here, and I'll show you, like, for example, braised rabbit with spring vegetables, a very popular one for night blades. Increases your maximum health and stamina for a set amount of time. It's about an hour. Also, another one that I've been using lately is Dubious Camaran Throne. This is a little bit of more of a rare recipe that comes from an event. It also increases your max health and stamina, but also your recovery rate. So there are some decent examples of food and drink. You'll notice that there were some different colors on those recipes. There are yellow, blue, purple, and gold. For leveling purposes, you're obviously going to level up quicker if you're making more of a rare recipe, but it's not required. I went all the way from 1 through 50 in probably about 35 to 40 minutes, and I used all yellow recipes, and I didn't even really optimize them. The recipes are also tiered in level 1 through 10, 10 through 20, so on and so forth. I believe it's actually 5-point increments, but I just really care about having a recipe in every 10 levels. Aside from buffing yourself, it's very nice to be able to help out your friends and guildmates, but also it's very profitable, or can be very profitable, because everybody needs food, everybody needs various drinks. With different classes are going to need different things. It's also going to be helpful for you to be always gathering ingredients. Some of the ingredients sell for a great deal, and some of the recipes also sell for a great deal. But the finished products, you can make money if you're selling either the food, or you can make stuff like Psychic Ambrosia, which is a gold recipe that is an experience potion that increases people's experience. People are always leveling alts, and then there's new players starting as well. So you can make a lot of money from provisioning as well. So that's another great reason to invest in the skill line. Gathering supplies for provisioning works very differently from getting resources for the other crafting professions in the Elder Scrolls Online, as there are no specific nodes scattered around the map. Instead, what you're going to do is enter buildings and basically pillage through bags, crates, cauldrons, boxes, anything that you guys can get your hands on to get the materials that you need. This will be considered stealing in most areas. However, a place that I like to do it a lot is in Cold Harbor, because there is no justice system, so you don't have to worry about getting a bounty, and you can pretty much just grab whatever you want. The newbie starting areas, though, are some of the best places to get materials, and also keep an eye out inside dungeons for heavy sacks, as those have some of the best resources for the various crafting professions. While you're out there pillaging for all of the various ingredients you might need to make the food and drink, make sure to keep an eye out for the recipes as well. The best way to get recipes is also to loot these various containers. And recipes are the only way to go ahead and level up the skill tree, because you do not have the option of deconstruction like you do with clothing and armor making and weapons and all those kinds of things. The other crafting professions that allow you to just break stuff down very simply. The only way to level up provisioning is to actually make the recipes, and you need recipes to do so. I will cover that a little bit more in depth as we continue. I will also mention, though, that these recipes can sell for quite a bit sometimes. You can see this one sells for around 8K if you look at Master Merchant there. This one's around 2K, so it is also a great way to make money. Two very useful additional methods of obtaining ingredients or recipes is to purchase them from either your guild's merchants or other guilds' merchants. If it is not found in any of the guilds you're in, then you would look on your map, and in each city there's going to be an area where there's guild traders. So there's 4 guilds that own traders inside Cold Harbor, where I am, for example. Otherwise, more frequently, you want to shop at your own guild. Go to your banker in the town, rather, and then click on Guild Store. And inside of that guild store, you will have access to all 5 of the guilds you are in, if you are hopefully in a couple of guilds. And then you can filter it by text and simply look up recipe, or obviously you could go by ingredients. As a precursor to getting into the actual crafting portion of this, you're going to want to basically get a level 10, level 20, level 30, level 40, and that's probably good enough. And you can go in increments of 5 as well, but you want to get those recipes prepared for the next section so that you can actually level up very efficiently, because as I've mentioned previously, you can't deconstruct things in order to level up the crafting skill, so you actually have to make them. So you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. There are 3 different quality colors here, and I'll get into that a bit more, but there are yellow, blue, and purple. And you're going to level up faster, of course, if you do blue or purple recipes, but they're not needed. I did it completely with green. Also, besides guild stores and merchants and at your bank where you can check your own guild, you can also go up to NPC merchants known as grocers throughout the towns and get some pretty basic ingredients as well. Next, I'd like to talk about the provisioning skill tree with all of the passives that you should take care of before you start to craft anything. And in some cases, we'll need some of these things in order to be able to craft certain things. First is going to be the recipe quality passive, which is going to allow you to, with each point you put in, start making yellow, blue, purple, or gold recipes. After that would be recipe improvement. This allows you to make the different level ranges. So at first, you're only going to be able to make up to level 10, then 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on and so forth. It may actually start at 20, I think, is how far you can go in the beginning. And then it'll be 30, 40, and 50. So you're going to want to put points into this as you level it up. The next 2 are Gourmand and Connoisseur. Both of those are pretty important, even if you don't intend to make food yourself, because they increase the duration. With all of the points in, it's going to buff your duration by 20 minutes. So that means you're going to have to buy food and drink less often, and you're going to have to apply it less often, which is the important thing. So that is very, very good skill to have no matter what, even if you don't plan to make it yourself. If you are making it yourself, then chef and brewer are very, very important, because with each point in, you get an extra serving. So with maximum points in chef or brewer, if you're making a food or a drink, with the ingredients that it takes to make 1, you're able to actually make 4. So a good example of that is dubious Cainebourne throne. There are 3 white ingredients that you need 1 of each, and then 3 beetle scuttle. If you have maximum points under brewer, you're going to make 4 for those same materials, and that is going to save you a lot of time and money farming materials. And then finally, there's hireling. And hireling is basically going to hire a non-existent character who's going to go out and steal or procure ingredients for you whenever you are offline. And with maximum points in it, he's going to do so every 12 hours. Initially, it's every 24. So those are all very important skills that you're going to want to think about if you're going to be a provisioner, and particularly Gourmand and Connoisseur, even if you're not, just to extend the duration. So at this point, hopefully you've realized that it is a very good idea to involve yourself in provisioning, either to make money or to buff yourself or to help your friends. You are aware of how to gather all of these different materials and the skills needed ahead of time. So finally, we're going to actually get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you level this, and how do you do it quickly, within 30 to 40 minutes? Well, first you find yourself a cooking fire, and you just hop in. Now, hopefully, based on the last sections, you've gone ahead and got yourself some recipes, at least one that is level 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, something around those ranges, even with the 40 being your highest. There are 5-point increments in between that you can do, but we don't need to nitpick. Ideally, you found hopefully some blue and purple recipes to help you level quicker, but yellow recipes are going to work just fine. As you open up the cooking fire, and those are going to be located inside of taverns all over the place. They're really not hard to find. Any place you see a fire, you can basically cook at it. And then you can click either one of 2 tabs, either have ingredients so that you can make those things, or have the skills that those are just the ones that you're ready to make. Up top you have food and then drinks, and then there's also furniture, which isn't real important for the purpose of this video. So basically what I did was incredibly simple. First, as you're leveling up, and I didn't bother to really look at these crafting skills until I was basically a higher level, because I'm just focused on leveling. So as I got to a comfortable point, I had been gathering things the entire time I was playing my character. So a lot of these materials I already had. You can also reach out to friends and guildmates. And then, of course, you can check, like I said, all of these different areas. We can go out and farm. You can check the guild stores, or you can check the grocer merchant. Once you have all of those materials, though, it's pretty simple. You just take a look at the recipes that you have, and you're going to start making the highest recipe you can. So initially, I think what I started with was a banana millet muffin, and that basically just took bananas and millet, which is basically flour. I went ahead and just started making those, and all you do is you just hit the R button as that's highlighted, and you just keep spamming the R button every time it's up and making your muffins. That's going to get you up to level 15 to 20. If you've got anything else, oh, here's grape leaves, even better. Level 15 is going to level you faster, so let's make some of those grapes. Whatever the highest level recipe you can make and the highest quality, but obviously keep in mind you've got to have the ingredients. And then you just basically tier through it. I mean, you start with the 10 to 15, and then eventually you hit 20. When you hit 20, you've got to put that skill point into the skill section, like I told you, to make the next tier of levels. And then I started making White Run cheese baked trout. That's a level 20 recipe. That took me through for a while, and I believe my level 30-ish was radish tartlets. And then finally, when I got into my 40s, I ran out of food recipes I had access to. So then I went over to Jasmine tea, and I believe actually I made Blue Road Marathon. These were just recipes that I had found. I think I maybe had to buy one on the market. So they were already there, and the ingredients, most were given to me by a guildmate, but a lot of stuff I already had. And literally you just sit there and spam the button, and you will be level 50 within 30 minutes to 35 minutes. So it is very, very easy to do so. So that will wrap it up for provisioning. This was specifically requested from someone in the comments of my last two videos. I know videos about this have been done, but again, all of my videos are noob guides for noobs. This is a beginner's compendium that I'm developing for people that just kind of got into ESO now or are returning after a long period of time. Thank you guys so much for checking out the videos. Let me know in the comments, as always, what you'd like to see next. And as you can see, I follow through on my promise to do those videos when you ask for them. So thank you so much for watching.